Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm coming to you from Down Under today, and I'm doing a Soul Scrappers challenge. This one was a one-word challenge, so you had to choose one word with the letter I, E or L, and I've chosen L for ludicrous. This is a day that my daughters were on the beach with me in the freezing cold. Now I don't use pink often, but because of my photo I've chosen to use some pink, and I've gone and collected a whole range of different items that I may or may not use on the layout, and I think I used most of it except for the flowers and some of the paper. Had to use scraps as well because this is also a challenge for a GDU, Girls Down Under challenge, and that had been a sketch that I had to follow. Now this is my photo, and it's been sitting on my desk since 2018 when I took it and got it developed, and I am finally putting it onto a page. So I have all of these pinks that I'm using because I've chosen it from my daughter's shirt here, and I've got only main part is the frame, which as soon as I cut it, it's a scrap, and then the backing sheet. So I am gutting out my framing piece of cardstock, which is a 1-inch frame, which I always use to solidly back my layouts, and it gives that edging and finishing off as it completes the layout. I put down my tape around the edge of each of the 4 sides, and then I only release one at a time to make sure that I avoid the bubbling and the lifting and making sure that it's straight. Now all of these papers complement each other. They are different shades of pink. It is meant to be a monochromatic layout, so that's why I've gone with the pinks as my colour. Not usually a colour I use a lot of, but for this layout it came out quite well. And all those single strips of paper that you cut off, you never know when you're going to use them, and this is a great layout for that. I'm cutting up strips, and you'll see that they're not quite the full length of the page that I need, but that's okay because they'll sit in under the paper where they overlap and under the frame of the photo, and no one will know that it wasn't a full strip when the page is finalized. So I'm just layering up all of the strips now to put down a base for my photo and to build up the rest of that layout. Remember, using up all your strips of paper is a great way. You never have enough scraps sometimes, and then you have too many, so this is a great way to use them. I'm double mounting this photo today, using it to make it stand out off that background, which is quite busy with its colours and its designs, but it tones down once the photo goes into place. Now this photo was taken when we went to see Disney on Ice in Wollongong, and it was a freezing cold winter's day. The wind was quite chilly, there was rain, and it was ludicrous that we were down on the beach in the rain getting a photo, but my girls, they always comply to their mum, and they allowed me to get this photo, which was nice. So that's why the heading ludicrous, and that is why I am putting it down with these stickers. We do some ludicrous things sometimes, and I look back and I think, oh my goodness, what sort of a mother was I? And my children often laugh about the fact that I would make them do things over and over just for the photo. So this one I'm now layering up with my embellishments, choosing a whole different range. I had to have 3 hearts in it, so I'm including the hearts. I had to include the pink scraps, which I've done, and I've got the one photo which I have done. Now the photo on the sketch that they gave us to work with was not as large. I think it was a 3x5 or something like that, but I've gone big as always, and that's why I've extended the size of my scraps to make that fit in. So now that I've laid out where I want my embellishments to go, I'm putting them on, and there are some that are flat which I glued down, and others which I am now popping up with foam tape. Foam tape allows it to have that dimension and allows it to have that little bit of interest and off the flatness from the page. When you look through pages, it's nice to have a little bit of a lumpy bumpy as opposed to all flat, particularly for people who are tactile and want to touch, and it gives the illusion of depth to your layout. So try using some foam tape or some magic foam or whatever it is, but it allows for depth. Now I have these amazing sequins, and in a previous video I, for the life of me, could not remember the name. They were sequins, and I got these from Rachel Tallman, who is Spiegle Mum on YouTube and Instagram, and they came all the way from Canada, which I Yeah, must admit, postage was a little bit steep, but that's what it is today. It's so worth it. These mixes are amazing, and I highly recommend them to anybody. And I just love all the little bits and pieces that are inside these little bags of yum. They're such glamorous things to add to your page, and they're just beautiful. So I highly recommend, if you haven't checked out Rachel Tallman's shop, you so need to. They are just amazing. And I'm just layering up my sequins. Yes, that's the name, sequins, got it right this time. And I'm adding them to add the sparkle to the page. And because it is very pink, I've gone with 3 tones of pink to add the little bit of bling that is necessary for a page. I'm also now adding 3 little hearts to create a visual triangle around the photo, which is good because it will draw your eye to the title, to the cluster, and to the journaling when I add it in a moment. And these little hearts, they're like a little rubbery thing, but they are very cute, and I thought they would be perfect on this layout, and they make that drawing of the eye so much easier. I picked up that bit of glitter sparkle sequence there, but I left some on the photo that I didn't realise at the end, and you'll see when you go to the end how they're just sitting there and I don't realise. I'm adding in the journaling, telling about how ridiculous we were being on the beach on the rain and the cold and the wind and how cold it was and on that day, but the girls being such good sports for the photo. To finish it off, I'm just going to add in some accent drops to put in the lenses on the cameras to make them look like they're shining and reflective glass in the cameras. And there's basically the layout coming together. You can see, I picked up other sequins, but I left 2 on that photo and it stays there right through. Quite oblivious I was, sorry about that. You can see that little cluster there. There's one with the flowers and the hearts and that beautiful sequence, as I said. There's the camera down there with some more of those sequins in place, and my last one with those arrows. And I really do like how the arrows add and draw your eye to the important pieces of this layout. So thank you for having a look. I hope there is something here that inspired you. It's now been a really bright layout, but taken outside in the sunshine, as you can see, and that's the true colours of the photo and the papers. I really love how this came together. Like I said, hopefully something here inspired you to have a go. If it did, don't forget you can take a screenshot and you can scrap lift away, because that's what it's all about. Not my own work, it's everybody's work to share. So if you did like something, don't forget to give me a like, because I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap, coming to you from down under. The likes tell YouTube you want to see more of my work, and it will put it into the feed, which is all I'm after. Thank you to those that have subscribed, and if you haven't, think about it. And if you leave me a comment, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Remember, you can find me, Kathy Loves to Scrap, on Instagram as well, where all my layouts end up, even those without videos. Once again, thank you for your time. Happy scrapping, and see you soon.